All right, we're going to get a lot of my favorite things in this video. We're going to be able to point out over the course of this video multiple dumb things. I love that. I'm a really big fan. We're going to be able to point out some belligerent, misleading, some of the flaws in the way that the internet works, some stupidity, some tomfoolery. And it all revolves around a story that, quite honestly, doesn't really matter that much. But it does have a catchy headline. And that is how I first came across this. I happen to pop open Reddit. It's somebody that is chronically on my phone, which is no doubt having, doing irreparable damage to my brain and my attention span. And you ever notice how many times you slap your pocket to, like, pull your phone out? I was walking to the bathroom and I pulled my phone out and I'm like, do I really need Reddit for these 10 seconds? But in those 10 seconds, I saw this. And this is a catchy headline. Lionel Messi to receive Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Joe Biden, the highest civilian honor in the United States. Now, I know what you're thinking, hearing that. What the fuck? That is a big-time W, capital T, capital F headline. Because why? Like, Lionel Messi doesn't even really speak English. He does some, but not publicly. And he's like been in the U.S. a year and a half. And now he's getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Joe Biden. I mean, if you think Messi fanboys are glazing Messi, how about the President of the United States? Turns out Joe Biden's been on the Messi side of the debate the entire time. And, he's on his way out and he decided to just slap him up with the freaking the Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor you can get in the U.S. You'd have to join the military if you wanted to get a bigger honor from the U.S. government. And Lionel Messi's getting that. So, of course, I read that. And I have the same thought that you did, the same thought that I just articulated. I go through all the, is the U.S. a joke? Right? Which in many ways we are. But in other ways, like barbecue, we mean business. And honestly, I rep the U.S. hard in food and sports and stuff. But seriously, what the hell is going on here? So I decided to look into it. And it took me about 5 seconds. We can always count on The Athletic. The New York Times actually owns them now. The Athletic had an article in Magic Johnson, Lionel Messi to receive Presidential Medal of Freedom. Okay, so that's not as sexy. That headline's not nearly as sexy, right? We've already been hoodwinked and bamboozled into thinking that it's like just Lionel Messi. Turns out Magic Johnson and Lionel Messi are just two of the biggest names in a group of 19 people receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Joe Biden. So this is clearly, they've just assembled a list of people they believe deserve the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Magic Johnson, if you don't know, a famous NBA player. And so it is a collection of athletes that are being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That is something that is also made clear here. And 19 of them, right? And so there isn't like a giant procession on the White House lawn where, Lionel Messi is going to be walking up in his finest dress blues to go up and, pick up his Presidential Medal of Freedom, like the picture of Joe Biden putting the medal around his neck. Although that would exist. Lionel Messi, he's not able to go. So that's something that we're going to talk about a little bit later because that's where the second piece of tomfoolery comes in this story. But why? Why is this award being given? President Biden believes great leaders keep the faith, give everyone a fair shot, and put decency above all else. These 19 Americans are great leaders who have made America a better place. They are great leaders because they are good people who have made extraordinary contributions to their country and the world. I love this statement because Lionel Messi's not American. He's just not. I mean, look, the United States is everybody hears from somewhere else thanks to, plague and lots of unfair warfare. Being American is more of a mindset. You live here, you eat some KFC, maybe go to McDonald's once, live in a suburb and raise the flag, and you're good to go, right? We accept all comers typically. But the fact that these 19 Americans and Lionel Messi's one of the people. Now, they had a little excerpt on each person. For Magic Johnson, off the court, he's a successful entrepreneur and philanthropist who supports underserved communities through his Magic Johnson Foundation. Messi is receiving the award for something similar, which makes complete sense. It's not something that I would imagine gets as much spotlight as the player himself, but he supports healthcare and education programs for children around the world through the Leo Messi Foundation and serves as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. And that's why he's getting it. That's why he's getting the award. as well as 18 other people, because he helps run a foundation that helps serve underserved communities and makes a difference in the lives of children, and, as a goodwill ambassador for UNICEF and all these different things. That's it. That is it. But of course, nobody really knows that, right? Because all you see is the headline that he's receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and you kind of just run with it, right? But that's not the only thing that people were able to run with, because Lionel Messi was not able to go to this ceremony. Right. And it is even though it's, not just the Lionel Messi hang the banner ceremony at the White House, it is still a pretty big deal, pretty important ceremony. President of the United States hanging a medal around your neck for contributions you've made to American society, global society, whatever, being an outstanding citizen. And he's not able to go. And so there were a couple of different interpretations of this. I'm going to tap you in. Now, I never go to this website, because they're like, this website, if cancer was a news website, it would be the Daily Mail. Just look at this. How are you I swear, whoever works for this, whoever runs this, every time I have to open this, and don't trust me, the only reason I'm opening it is to make fun of them. Every time I have to open this, I'm amazed that nobody that works there, nobody that owns this ever goes on here. Right? They must have some ad blocking software that allows them to go on here without these ads, because this website is terminal. It is disgusting. It is ridiculous. And it's not just about the ads going around. It is also about the fact that Lionel Messi snubs Joe Biden in glitzy White House ceremony after being awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Now, look, as somebody with a degree, a master's degree in journalism, which again, this channel, not journalism. This is just me fucking around, right? But I know these people. I know how this shit works. I've been in newsrooms all over, okay? I am friends with directors, editors, producers of news content, right? Fun people. Very strict on the grammar, but good group of people. The word snubs has a malicious it has a malicious undertone to it. And glitzy, I mean, this is an incredibly antagonistic headline. If you only read this, you wouldn't really know what was going on, right? You see the headline and everything above the fold before the first ad, which is Arnie Slott talking about God knows what for some reason. You wouldn't know why Lionel Messi actually missed the event, because, of course, he has a perfectly reasonable explanation to not be there. But they still, and in the third paragraph, as photos began to surface of the ceremony, which apparently already happened, it became clear that Messi was one of the few participants to skip the event and wasn't pictured on stage with Biden. Dun, dun, dun! Right? It was later, and then all the way down here, paragraph 5, it was later confirmed that he had not attended, with the official word coming shortly after. That's brilliant. They even tried to set this up like the official word, right? Not like the actual fucking reason he didn't go was that it was a scheduling issue, because this sort of thing popped up pretty late, and Lionel Messi's, I don't know, a busy guy with obligations all over the world. But they're like, it is, I saw this. This is nothing, like, it is amazing how malicious this article is from the Daily Mail. It is straight fucking trash. Ben Nagel, trash. Bro, I don't know if the editor did this to you and you're like being held there against your will. If you are not, this is just malicious. This is just, you're just being a dick for no reason, bro. Seriously. But yeah, all the way down to paragraph 5, confirmed that he had not attended, with official word coming shortly after, like, holy shit, that his absence was due to a scheduling issue. It has also been reported that nobody attended to accept the award on his behalf, and the announcer even skipped over Messi's name when reading out the recipients of the medal. Probably because he wasn't there, and he didn't want to dishonor the award and thought it would look worse if he sent somebody in his stead to accept the award. Right? Because that is totally fair for somebody that was in charge of the marketing and branding of Lionel Messi to think, wow, you'd look like a bigger asshole if you sent like a surrogate to accept this prestigious award from the President of the United States. So just say it's a scheduling issue, because it is a scheduling issue. Thank you very much. Cool. And we're on. Except you've got this asshole dragging it, like just dragging it all, like, what are you trying to do? Either report that he actually didn't want to go from a source that you know, or shut the fuck up. Those are your options, right? You just sit here and pick at the seams like a little piece of shit, and people that don't understand how journalism works can get manipulated by this. But you either have a source that you can report on that is telling you that Lionel Messi didn't want to go. I don't know. He thinks Joe Biden's old or whatever, right? Like, he just didn't want to go. He didn't want to go because he didn't want to be involved in American politics. You have a source telling you that, which I know you don't, because if you did, you'd be blowing it up. Or shut up and report the only things that you know, like an actual journalist, instead of somebody trying to sell me. I don't even know what that is. Something to stop mice? Really? God, this is what it's supposed to look like, by the way. USA Today, this is a catchy headline that isn't being a dick about it. Lionel Messi unable to attend Presidential Medal of Freedom ceremony. Here's why. Boom. I'm interested. I want to click on it, but I also don't think that Lionel Messi's being a giant dick, because there is no evidence that he is being a giant dick in not going to this, because he's a busy dude that obviously has shit to do all over the world. Okay? I didn't expect to get that heated about it, but I hadn't read the first parts of the article until we got to this. Shout out to Safid Dean for writing, he probably didn't write the title, but for, slanting the article in the right direction here, and the fact that Lionel Messi couldn't go. Here's why, right? And this is why he received the award, and boom, you get your click and you're good. But no, this was a nothing burger. If you saw any of these things or anybody getting worked up about it in one direction or another, he got it for his foundation. He was one of a large group of people affiliated with sports or arts and entertainment that got this award at the same time. And he wasn't able to go because of his scheduling conflict. And there's no evidence to any other reason that he wouldn't go. And that's it. And that is literally it.